For years, I let a title decide what I could and couldn't do. You're a pharmacist. Aren't you supposed to stick to medicine? I heard that so many times that I almost believed it. Until one day, I didn't. I kept hearing things like, are you not just a pharmacist? Pharmacists aren't allowed to do that. It was as if the 6 years I spent in university came with invisible words that said to me that you may know how to do more, but you're not allowed to do that. And I remember once someone saw me with a stethoscope and asked if I was breaking a rule. Like, it sounds funny now, but that moment it hit me. Society doesn't just give you a degree, it gives you a box. And it's not only in healthcare, it's everywhere. If you're an accountant, you hear people say stay in accounting. If you are an engineer, for instance, you'll be asked questions like, why are you designing graphics? If you tend to try, we spend the first 20 years learning how to think, and then spend the rest of our lives being told nothing outside of our title or the degree that we've gotten. That didn't sit right with me. I've always believed that if you can learn one thing, then you can learn another. And since we spend most of our lives outside of school, why should we let school define the rest of our life? My wake-up call actually came long before pharmacy school, like back in high school. Our school was forming a robotics team. There were 10 students, and 5 of us were chosen because we were the best academically, and the other 5 because they were good at building things. And when we started working together, I came to the realization, I realized something really painful. Like, the others could do things. They could code, they could solder, create, they understood the technicalities of what was required to get the job done. But for me, all I had were my grades. That day, I promised myself that my knowledge would never again stop at theory. And between the 2012 and 2014, I taught myself programming, graphic design, computer hardware, and even sales. I sold things in the market, I fixed computers, I taught others what I learned. And for the first time, I felt something new. Power. The power of realizing that I could become anything if I kept learning. Then in 2014, I got into pharmacy school, a 6-year Doctor of Pharmacy program. But I walked in with a different mission. I called it adding value to your PharmD degree. I started a small startup. I organized events. I designed posters. I did a host of things, like including building websites, building various platforms, and doing several things. I helped classmates with branding and marketing. I actually wanted every student around me to see that being a pharmacist didn't mean being only a pharmacist. I wasn't trying to disrespect the profession in any way, shape, or form. I love the profession so much, but I just didn't want my profession to disrespect my potential as an individual. By the time I graduated, people called me the digital consultant. If you needed a website, I would say talk to Ahonia Obed. If you needed a poster, talk to Ahonia Obed. If you needed a marketing plan, talk to Ahonia Obed. My pharmacy degree hadn't even started paying me yet, but my skills were. And over the years, that curiosity turned into new careers for me, like software engineer, cloud computing architect, entrepreneur, health informatician, startup builder. And here's the truth. I don't even see any of those labels as who I am. For me, they're simply the skills I am using for now. What I have come to learn is that identity isn't a label, it's a stack of skills. And your degree is just one brick in that stack. Your experiences that you get are more bricks. So In fact, I think that your curiosity, it's the mortar that holds the stack together. So the moment you stop stacking these skills, you start shrinking. So what I say to you is learn something new, build something small, teach it to someone else. That's how you reinvent again and again. It is not just what you learn in school. Beyond what you learn in school, you can always pick up new skills, you can learn new things, you can become even more than what your title or degree is. So if you ever felt trapped by your degree or your job title, remember this: your education was meant to start your journey, not define it. It is a means to an end and not the end in itself. Subscribe and join me inside the Reinvent Circle. Let's learn, build, and teach our way into new identities, because identity is learnable.